Imagine working your ass off for years only to come home and find your locks changed by your own deadbeat dad. And inside, your freeloading pregnant stepsister, feet on your coffee table acting like she owns the place. Sounds insane? That's just how it started. You know what's a real punch to the gut? Coming home after a 14-hour shift in construction to find that your key doesn't fit the lock anymore. Not because I'm drunk, not because I'm at the wrong house, but because my own father and his lovely wife decided my home would be better used by their poor pregnant angel, aka my 22-year-old freeloading stepsister, Brittany. Yeah, that's how my Tuesday went. I bought this house in Louisville, Kentucky 4 years ago. Paid the down payment with my own savings. I gutted it myself, rewired every socket, even retiled the damn bathroom floor on my knees. No help, no gifts, no family loans, just sweat and overtime. So imagine my confusion when I get to the porch, and there's a brand new keypad lock where my deadbolt used to be. First, I think, okay, maybe someone tried to break in and the landlord replaced it. Then I remember, I am the landlord. I own this freaking place. So I knock. Nothing. Again, still nothing. I start getting nervous. Is someone in there? That's when I see her. Brittany, sitting on my couch eating cereal out of my bowl and watching reality TV like she owns the place. She looks at me through the window and has the audacity to wave. I swear, I nearly blacked out. I bang on the door like a madman, and finally, she opens it a crack. She has this smug little smirk and goes, "Oh, didn't Dad call you?" "No, Brittany. Dad did not call me." "Why the hell are you in my house?" She rolls her eyes. "It's not a big deal. We just needed a little extra space. The apartment Mom and Dad found for me had mold. You wouldn't want me inhaling spores while pregnant, right?" I could barely see straight. My voice came out low and shaky. "Who gave you permission?" She blinks. "Well, technically it's Dad's house too." "What?" Turns out, and I found this out later, after a call with the police and then my lawyer, my father used an old emergency key he somehow kept to get in while I was working night shifts last week. Changed the locks. Moved in Brittany while I was busting my back trying to make mortgage payments. But that day, I didn't know any of that yet. I only knew my stepsister had squatted in my home without asking, and that she was very, very pregnant. So when I tried to step in, she physically blocked the doorway with her belly. She said, "I'm not moving. You're stressing me out. Go cool off somewhere else." I swear to God, I thought I was in a prank video. The worst part? When I called my dad, shaking with rage, he picked up and said, "Son, don't be selfish. She's family." Family? Family. You mean the girl who stole $600 from my mom's purse at Thanksgiving and said the dog did it? The one who crashed my truck during prom week and blamed me for leaving it unlocked? That family? And then came the cherry on top. Dad said, "You're 29, single, no kids, you don't need that much space. Think of it as helping out the next generation." My blood went cold. This wasn't a favor. This was a hijacking. And it had been planned. Stay tuned, because what I did next turned my whole neighborhood upside down. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat in my truck outside my own house like a damn criminal, watching the lights flick on and off as Brittany moved around inside. My house. Around 2 a.m., I snapped. I dialed the non-emergency line and told them the truth. "My father broke into my house, changed the locks, and let someone else move in." The dispatcher paused. "Do you live there currently?" I did, until they literally locked me out. "You own the property?" "I have the deed in my glove box." 15 minutes later, 2 squad cars rolled up. They knocked. Brittany opened the door in pajamas, rubbing her belly like she was about to go into labor from mild inconvenience. "Oh, thank God," she said. "He's been stalking the house for hours." "Excuse me?" One of the officers turned to me and asked for ID and ownership proof. I handed them my license and deed. The other officer stepped inside to speak with her. 10 minutes passed. Then he came back out, looking tense. "She says she's a tenant." "She's not. She's an intruder. She claims she was given access by your father." "He doesn't own the property. I do. She's trespassing." They told me, legally, they couldn't force her out tonight without a court order since she'd already moved in, and someone claiming authority had let her in. But we strongly recommend you begin the eviction process immediately, one officer muttered quietly. I was fuming. My fists were clenched so tight I could feel my fingernails digging into my palms. Okay, fine. I'll handle it legally. But if she breaks a single thing in there... She already did, the other officer said, eyes narrowing. I saw a broken window in the back. Might want to photograph that in the morning. I nearly vomited from the rage. The next morning, I came back with a locksmith, my lawyer on speakerphone, and a certified notice of unlawful entry. But guess who was parked in the driveway? My dad. And he was leaning against his car like some mob. Boss, arms crossed, all calm and smug. I knew you'd overreact, he said. I walked right up to him. You broke into my house. It's not breaking in when you have a key. You stole that key 5 years ago. I never gave you permission. He shrugged. We thought it'd be safer if Brittany had a place with better air quality. Mold's a real issue in those apartments. I lost it. Are you out of your mind? This is not a damn maternity shelter. This is my home. Get out. He had the audacity to wave me off. That's when I got in his face. If you don't remove your daughter from my property by the end of the day, I will have the sheriff serve her papers, and I'll press charges on you for unlawful entry. You wouldn't do that to family, he said, suddenly not smiling. Watch me. He tried to puff up like he still had some kind of authority over me, like he wasn't just some washed-up coward hiding behind his wife's manipulative schemes. Then he threw out the line that made my brain go white-hot. If your mother were here, don't you dare! Silence. I took a step closer. Don't you dare use her name. She left that house to me because she knew exactly what kind of selfish garbage you'd pull. And guess what? She was right. He looked like I slapped him. Good. He deserved worse. I turned to the locksmith. Change every lock, now. That's when Brittany came charging out the front door like she was auditioning for Real Housewives, Louisville. What the hell do you think you're doing? I'm taking back my house! I'm pregnant, and I'm done being extorted. She started screaming about stress, about how I was killing her spirit, about how I'd never understand what it's like to be a woman. Lady, you don't need a uterus to recognize a manipulative squatter. She grabbed her phone and started filming. Oh, good, I shouted. Make sure you get my good side, the one that's throwing you out. The locksmith paused. You sure about this? Keep going, I snapped. My dad tried one last pathetic attempt at guilt-tripping. You're making a mistake, son. No, Dad. The mistake was thinking I needed you in my life. And with that, I watched the locks change. Click by, click. Like shackles breaking off. But I knew this wasn't over. This was only the opening punch of a much uglier war. I thought changing the locks would end it. I thought after seeing I wasn't bluffing, they'd back off, lick their wounds, and disappear like bad Wi-Fi. I was wrong. 3 days later, I got a call at work. Unknown number. I usually don't answer. Those. But something told me this one wasn't spam. Mr. Carter? This is Officer Doyle from Louisville CPS. We've received an anonymous report about an unsafe environment for a pregnant woman and an unborn child at your residence. My stomach dropped. Wait. What? There's no child here. I live alone. Yes, sir, but the complaint lists your name and address. We're required to follow up. Can we schedule a home visit this afternoon? I slammed my fist on my desk. They called. CPS. They weaponized child welfare to harass me, I said through gritted teeth. Come whenever you want. You'll find nothing but hardwood floors and the echoes of my shattered trust. The agent showed up at 4 p.m. sharp. I let her in. Gave her the tour. Even offered her coffee I didn't have. She looked around, clearly confused. So, there's no child here? No child, no pregnant woman, no crib, no diapers, just one seriously pissed-off man who owns this home and has the paperwork to prove it. She nodded slowly. Okay. We'll close the case. Sorry for the inconvenience. Inconvenience? I laughed darkly. Lady, this is psychological warfare. And just as she's walking out, I spot a silver Nissan across the street. Brittany in the driver's seat, phone pressed to her cheek, staring straight at me. I marched across the lawn like a man possessed and slammed my hand on her window. She flinched like I was holding a chainsaw. I shouted, Nice try with CPS. What's next? A fake noise complaint? Gonna tell the IRS I sell meth out of the garage? She rolled the window down halfway and hissed, You're being unreasonable. Unreasonable? You illegally moved into my house, cried pregnancy, and when I kicked you out, you tried to get the state involved? What the hell is wrong with you? You left me no choice, she snapped. I laughed so loud I startled a jogger. Oh no, sweetie, you made choices, and now you're going to live with them. She sped off, tires squealing. Probably headed straight to Daddy to cry that I'd yelled at her through glass. Guess what happened next? A restraining order. No, not from me, from her. Apparently, I was now a threat to her pregnancy. I received the notice 2 days later, served by a deputy who clearly felt as awkward as I did. Sorry, man. Just doing my job. I stood there on my porch, in front of the house I renovated with my bare hands, holding paperwork that claimed I was dangerous because I'd asked a woman to leave the house she broke into. My lawyer was livid. We're counterfiling, she said. Enough's enough. That same day, I filed for a civil protection order against Brittany, her mother, and even my father. I wanted court documents stating they couldn't set foot on my property. Period. The hearing was scheduled for the next week. I showed up in a shirt that still smelled like drywall dust. Brittany arrived late, in full glam makeup and a maternity dress that probably cost more than my entire kitchen remodel. She clutched her belly like it was a shield. The judge raised an eyebrow. Miss, are you currently residing at Mr. Carter's property? She nodded, batting her eyelashes. Not anymore. He forced me out. Were you ever on the lease or deed? She paused. No, Your Honor. But then why did you believe you had a right to enter and stay in the home? Her lips trembled. Because my dad said it was okay. The judge turned to me. Mr. Carter, do you have documentation proving ownership? I handed it over, and I wish you could have seen the judge's face. He didn't just frown, he squinted like the paperwork was an insult to his time. Miss, Mr. Carter is the legal owner. You had no right to occupy the home, change the locks, or call CPS. But I'm pregnant, the judge banged the gavel, and that is not a license to commit home invasion. Restraining order granted. In his favor. I could have kissed that gavel. As I walked out of the courtroom, Brittany burst into tears. Her mom, who looked like someone had just canceled Christmas, grabbed her and started whispering furiously. My dad didn't even make eye contact. Coward. That night, I celebrated with a steak dinner and a cold beer on my porch, alone, peaceful, victorious. But I knew something still wasn't right. Brittany wasn't the kind to go down quietly, and I was right. Because 3 days later, I received a notice from the county probate office. My father had filed a motion to contest my mother's will. Yeah, he was trying to legally erase her dying wish. I stood there staring at the letter from the county probate court like it was written in a foreign language. My own father was officially contesting my mother's will. The woman he divorced, cheated on, abandoned. That woman left her house to me. Me, the son she raised alone. Me, the one who held her hand in hospice. And now that she's in the ground, he thinks he's entitled to what she left behind. I could have screamed. The grounds for his motion, unfair distribution of family assets, emotional instability at the time of the will's signing. Failure to consider the needs of other family members. What he meant was, I didn't get anything and now I'm mad. I brought the letter straight to my lawyer, Deb, a bulldog of a woman in her 50s with fire in her eyes and a laugh like gravel in a blender. She read it silently, then muttered, This man has the spine of a jellyfish and the morals of a used car salesman. Can he actually win this? I asked. Not unless the judge has a lobotomy mid-trial. But we're not going to leave it to chance. You ready for war? Oh, I've been ready. He just fired the first legal shot. We filed a formal response within 48 hours. Attached every document. The deed with my name. The will signed, dated, and notarized. Statements from the hospice nurse confirming my mother's full mental clarity when she signed it. I even dug up photos of the renovations I'd done to the house. You know, proof that I actually gave a damn about this place. Unlike the man who left us when I was 12 because your mom wasn't fun anymore. Still, the stress chewed at my brain. Every morning felt like walking into a courtroom in my own head. I couldn't sleep. Couldn't focus at work. Meanwhile, Brittany kept posting cryptic crap on social media. Not all family helps when you need them most. Some people love houses more than blood. Oh, shut up. You wanted to squat rent-free and guilt trip your way into a home you never earned. Don't act like you're Frodo and I'm Mount Doom. A week before the hearing, I got a call. Unknown number again. This time I answered on speaker while sanding drywall. Is this Mr. Carter? Speaking. This is Linda. I used to work with your mother at the community center. I heard about the court stuff, and I think you should know something. I turned off the sander. She continued. Back when your mother got sick, she asked me to record a video. She said it was in case things ever got messy after she passed. Wait, what kind of video? She wanted to make it clear who the house was for. Said she didn't trust your father to respect her wishes. I almost dropped the phone. She said you were the only one who ever showed up, that you stayed. She wanted people to hear it in her own words. Linda emailed it to me. I opened the file. There she was, my mom, frail, wrapped in a blanket, but her eyes were sharp. If you're watching this, something's gone wrong, she said. I left the house to my son because he earned it. He loved me. He took care of me. And no one, not my ex-husband, not his new wife, not their baby princess, deserves a damn thing from me. Not after what they did. My throat closed. Deb nearly leapt over her desk when I showed her. This is gold, she grinned. This is a bulletproof vest. Your dad's case is DOA. The court date came fast. I walked into that courtroom in boots, jeans, and a button-down shirt. No suit. I wasn't here to impress. I was here to bury a lie. My dad showed up in a full suit. His lawyer was one of those guys with slicked back hair and an attitude like he bills by the breath. Brittany came too, of course, clutching her baby bump like she was Mary, mother of entitlement. The judge, an older man with a beard like a Christmas ornament, asked to hear both sides. Dad's lawyer went first. Spoke for 15 minutes about family unity, generational fairness, and the psychological toll of disinheritance. Then Deb stood up. Your Honor, we have the signed will, verified by 2 notaries, and a sworn statement from hospice staff confirming Mrs. Carter's full cognitive awareness. But we also have something else. She hit play on the video. You could hear a pin drop as my mother spoke. Calm, sharp, angry. By the end of the clip, even the judge looked emotional. He leaned back, took a deep breath, and said, Mr. Carter, this motion to contest the will is not only denied, it's disgraceful. This court finds the attempt not only legally invalid, but morally repugnant. Boom. Case dismissed. My dad didn't look at me, just stood up and walked out like he'd forgotten how legs work. Brittany sobbed into a handkerchief that probably cost more than her brain. Me? I smiled for the first time in months, but I should have known. People like them never lose quietly. You'd think after getting wrecked in court, they'd crawl back into the hole they slithered out of. Nope. Brittany went into full nuclear meltdown. She started flooding her social media with melodramatic monologues like she was starring in her own made-for-TV movie. My baby deserves a home, not a heartless uncle. He turned his back on family in our darkest hour. This isn't over. She was right about that last part, because I was done playing defense. It was time to go on the offensive. See? Up until this point, I'd been trying to protect my house, my peace, my sanity. But now I wanted them to feel it. The stress, the humiliation, the consequences. First stop, city code enforcement. Remember how I mentioned that Brittany was staying at my dad's place? Well, turns out Daddy Dearest had done some creative remodeling on their garage to make a nursery unit for Brittany. No permits, no inspections, no clue. I filed a report. Boom, citation. $8,000 fine. And guess what? The nursery was ordered to be dismantled immediately. Second stop, anonymous tip to her ex-boyfriend, the baby daddy. I didn't want to stir drama, unless there was already a pot boiling. Turns out there was. Tyler, the guy who ghosted her mid-pregnancy, had no idea Brittany was trying to raise their kid out of someone else's house. When he found out she tried to pass off my home as her new place, he lost it. I got a message from him 2 days later. Yo, man, didn't know you were her brother. She told me you gave her the house. What the hell? I replied. She broke into it, had the locks changed, and called CPS on me when I kicked her out. His response, I'm getting a lawyer. She's insane. I want full custody. Oh, sweetheart. How's that baby leverage working out now? Third stop. Public. Exposure. No, not revenge porn. I'm not a psycho, but I did post a little story on Reddit. You know, anonymously. About how my dad and pregnant stepsister tried to steal my house. How they changed the locks. How they called CPS. How they contested my dead mom's will. It went viral in under 12 hours. Top comment. I would have filed a restraining order and painted the house with anti-Brittany runes. Another favorite. The entitlement is hereditary. And oh man, it got around. Mutual friends, old co-workers, distant relatives. My phone started blowing up, not with hate, with apologies. Aaron, I'm so sorry. We had no idea. Dude, your dad is out of his mind. One even wrote, I used to babysit Brittany. She stole my mom's engagement ring when she was 9. Charming. But the final nail in their public image coffin? The community center. You remember my mom used to volunteer there? Well, after seeing the video we played in court, the one where she tore into my dad and Brittany like Judge Judy with chemo hair, the center decided to rename their reading room in her honor, the Melissa Carter Literacy Lounge. They asked me to speak at the ceremony. I walked up to the podium in a decent shirt, cleared my throat, and said, my mom believed in second chances. My dad and Brittany proved she was right to stop giving them. The applause? Deafening. But here's the twist that even I didn't see coming. A week later, I get another letter in the mail. It's from a lawyer, not my dad's, not Brittany's. My aunt, my mom's sister. We hadn't talked in years, not after some family drama I honestly forgot about. She wrote, I saw the video. I read the story, and I know my sister would want you to have this. Attached, the deed to her cabin in Colorado. Apparently, she never had kids, never married, and she was dying of cancer. She wanted me to have it because you're the only one in this family with a spine. I stared at the paper, mouth dry, hands trembling. 2 houses, 1 earned. 1 gifted, not by manipulation, not by guilt, but by respect. I didn't even know what to say. Meanwhile, Brittany was losing followers by the day. Her GoFundMe flopped. Her community support group turned into a Facebook ghost town. My dad, I heard he sold his car to pay the city fines. Oh, and remember that restraining order Brittany filed against me? She forgot to cancel it. So when she tried to show up at my house one last time with the baby, she violated her own protection order. Guess who got to call the cops again? Spoiler. It wasn't her. The day Brittany showed up with the baby on her hip, clutching a diaper bag like it was a white flag, I knew she was desperate. She stood at the edge of my driveway, fake crying like she was auditioning for a courtroom drama. I just want you to meet your nephew, she called out, her voice cracking on command. Can't we talk like family? I didn't even open the door, just picked up the phone, called the sheriff's department, and said calmly, she's in violation of her own restraining order again. 10 minutes later, she was in the back of a cruiser, baby and all. I watched from my porch. Didn't say a word. I didn't need to. She'd already lost. That was the last straw for the world around her, too. Her baby daddy, Tyler, filed for full custody a week later and submitted the police report from that day as evidence of her pattern of erratic behavior. The judge didn't even blink. He granted it. Brittany lost custody. My father lost credibility. And I gained something better than revenge. Peace. But it didn't end there. Not yet. A month after the restraining order violation, I got a certified letter from my dad's lawyer. No legal threats this time. Just a note. Your father wishes to apologize and hopes to speak with you before it's too late. Too late for what? Turns out he was sick. Stage 4 cancer. The irony wasn't lost on me. The man who tried to steal the home my mom died in was now dying himself. I sat with that letter for days. And then I visited him. Not out of forgiveness, out of closure. He was in a hospital bed, pale and sunken, a shell of the man who once yelled in my face that I was selfish for not handing over my house to his precious baby girl. He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. You came, he croaked. I came, I said flatly. Say whatever you need to say. He blinked, coughed. I'm sorry. I was trying to fix things. I laughed. Not the warm kind, the bitter kind. No. You were trying to control things, just like always. He didn't deny it. I just wanted Brittany to have a good start. By stealing from me, from Mom? He looked away. I stood up. I'm not here for your redemption arc. You don't get that. But I'll tell you this. I'm done being the one who gets stepped on so everyone else can feel tall. He whispered. I'm scared. Yeah, you should be. And I walked out. That was the last time I saw him. He died 3 weeks later. I didn't go to the funeral. Neither did most of the family. Apparently, when the story came out, all of it, people stopped returning his calls. Funny how that works. A month after his death, I received another letter. He left me something in his will. I almost threw it out, but curiosity won. Turns. Out. He left me nothing, except a handwritten letter. It read, "I hope one day you'll understand. Everything I did was out of love, even if I didn't show it right. I failed you as a father, and I'm sorry." I crumpled it up and threw it in the fire pit out back, let it burn with the rest of his memory. Now, I'm still in the house, my house. I finally finished the kitchen renovation, put up new blackout curtains, built a firewood rack, the kind of things you do when no one's banging on your door trying to take what's yours. As for Brittany, she moved out of state. I hear she's couch surfing and crying about toxic men ruining her life. Yeah, like I held a gun to her head and made her falsify CPS claims. Tyler got custody, got a job, cleaned up his act, from what I hear. Good for him. The cabin my aunt left me, I visited every fall. Just me, a fishing pole, and silence. It's heaven. And the best part, I'm finally free. Free of guilt, free of shame, free of them. I used to think family meant blood, loyalty, shared holidays, and warm hugs. Now I know better. Family is earned. It's built on respect, not DNA. On truth, not manipulation. And anyone who tries to take what's yours, whether it's your home, your peace, or your future, doesn't deserve a place in your life. You don't owe them anything. Not forgiveness, not closure, not even a conversation. Just a locked door and a solid legal team. So yeah, they tried to steal my house, but in the end, I burned their whole game down, and I'm the one who walked away with everything that matters. And here it is, the finale of today's story. Did everything turn out as you imagined, or did it end unexpectedly? I'd love to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's dive into the discussion together. If this story kept you in suspense, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? This is your chance to join an incredible community where exciting new stories unfold every day. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date. Thanks for your attention and see you on your new adventures.